Imagine living in a world where, by the time you reach your 90s, you are able to keep the same level of strength and mobility that you had when you were younger. Doesn't it sound too wonderful to be true? Today, I speak to you with vital knowledge that has the potential to significantly influence the quality of life you experience as you get older. It is disturbing to see the figures. Each year, 1 in every 4 persons over the age of 65 suffers a fall, which frequently results in severe injuries and the lost ability to function independently. Now, what if I told you that there is a technique to dramatically lessen the likelihood of this happening? In the struggle against the loss of muscle mass that comes with advancing age, there is a secret weapon that has been hiding in plain sight through the entire process. There is a possibility that a single vitamin could be the key to maintaining the strength, stability, and readiness of your legs, regardless of the number of candles that are hanging on your birthday cake. There is a remarkable connection between a single vital vitamin and the preservation of leg strength in older persons. According to a study that was conducted not too long ago in the scientific community, this discovery is nothing short of revolutionary. It has the potential to provide hundreds of millions of elderly people who are battling with mobility challenges a rescue option. There is no possible way to emphasize the significance of this discovery enough. Imagine being able to keep your independence, continue your daily activities without worry, and escape the devastating repercussions of muscle weakening, all owing to a single simple nutrient. This is what you could be able to do. Everyone who is worried about preserving their strength and mobility as they become older should read this material because it is absolutely and completely essential. I strongly encourage you to not underestimate the significance of this discovery. If this information is ignored, there is a possibility that severe consequences will occur, including an increased chance of falling, hospitalization, and a loss of autonomy. Instead, gaining an awareness of this information and putting it into practice could be the key to ensuring that you continue to have a high quality of life for many years to come, even if you are 94 years old. If you do not consume a sufficient amount of this vital vitamin, your muscles will begin to deteriorate at a faster rate. On the other hand, if you keep your levels in the appropriate range, you will be able to preserve your movement and freedom for a long amount of time. To get things started, what precisely is this vitamin that is considered to be vital, and why is it so important to your comprehensive health? Make sure you stay with us. When it comes to having strong legs, vitamin D is a mineral that is truly necessary. When we get started, I would really appreciate it if you could tell me where you are coming from today. Leave a comment below. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask them. In addition, make sure you click the subscribe button and adjust your alert settings so that you are never left out of Senior Health's most helpful health advice. And if you are watching this right now, I want to know that you're agreeing with me. Leave a comment with a 1 if you feel that this video resonates with you, or type 0 if not. When individuals think of vitamin D, they are frequently reminded of the role it plays in ensuring that their bones remain healthy. However, it is equally important for the strength of the muscles as well as the mobility of the body. Research has demonstrated that a deficiency in vitamin D can result in inadequacies in muscle strength, difficulties with balance, and an increased risk of falling. This is a condition that poses a particular risk to individuals who are in their later years. It was demonstrated in a study published in the Journal of the American Geriatrics Society that senior persons who took vitamin D supplements had a 23% lower rate of falls than those who did not take these supplements. Researchers have also found a correlation between low levels of vitamin D and weaker leg muscles, as well as slower walking rates in people who are older. In accordance with the findings of an additional study published in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism, if the body does not receive an adequate quantity of vitamin D, it will have difficulties absorbing calcium, which ultimately leads to a weakening of the bones and muscles. This may hasten the process of sarcopenia, the age-related loss of muscle mass, that affects nearly half of all people over the age of 80. Sarcopenia is a condition that affects millions of people. To put it another way, vitamin D is necessary for maintaining the power of your legs, preventing falls, and maintaining your level of physical activity as you get older. When it comes to the senior population, how widespread is the problem of vitamin D deficiency? A shockingly high percentage of people, particularly those of old age, are affected by this condition. Recent studies have shown that even more than 60% of senior individuals have vitamin D levels that are insufficient. This is an astounding statistic. In a recent article published in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism, the findings of the National Health and Nutrition Examination Survey are highlighted. These data revealed that older individuals who have a low vitamin D level are twice as likely to suffer from catastrophic falls and fractures. Vitamin D supplementation was shown to be associated with a 22% reduction in the risk of hip fractures among women over the age of 65, according to a study that was published in the New England Journal of Medicine. In order to guarantee that they receive adequate care, senior citizens are required to take additional precautions, since the body's capacity to make vitamin D from sunlight decreases with age. There are some signs that you might be deficient in vitamin D supplementation. The importance of vitamin D cannot be overstated when it comes to the preservation of healthy bones, muscles, and immune systems. On the other hand, a sizable population suffers from a deficiency in this vital vitamin, leading to a variety of visible health issues. Some of the most common symptoms that may indicate a deficiency are going to be discussed below. One significant signal of vitamin D deficiency is the weakening of muscles. If you frequently have a sensation of weakness or unsteadiness in your legs, particularly when standing or walking, it is conceivable that you are deficient in vitamin D, a vital nutrient for good muscular performance. In addition, this may lead to frequent falls due to compromised balance and lost muscle strength, both of which hinder stability. Because vitamin D levels gradually fall with age, older people typically have lower levels of vitamin D than younger individuals. Discomfort in the bones is another prevalent symptom, notably in the lower back, joints, or legs. Bones may grow weaker and more prone to suffering pain or discomfort if the body does not receive an adequate amount of vitamin D, which is essential for facilitating calcium absorption throughout the body. Moreover, a lack of vitamin D necessary for tissue repair may also be the reason behind slow wound healing. When there is an inadequate amount of vitamin D, the healing process is slowed down, and the risk of infection is increased. Additionally, because vitamin D helps govern muscle contractions, you may experience leg cramps or spasms, particularly throughout the night. This is especially true if you are sleeping outside or exposed to cold conditions. A deficiency may cause cramps to occur regularly, making it challenging to get a good night's sleep and move around comfortably. In general, if you experience any of these symptoms, it is absolutely necessary for you to seek the guidance of a medical professional. There is a straightforward blood test that can confirm low levels of vitamin D. If necessary, your physician may suggest increasing sun exposure, making dietary modifications, or taking supplements to restore your vitamin D to optimal levels. The most efficient strategies for producing additional vitamin D include three main approaches. 1. Increase sunlight exposure. It is possible for your body to produce vitamin D naturally when your skin is exposed to sunlight. Nevertheless, as you get older, your skin's ability to synthesize vitamin D decreases. You should aim to spend 20 to 30 minutes outside in direct sunlight at least 3 to 4 times per week. Not only does this practice improve your vitamin D production, but it also supports your overall well-being. The best time for vitamin D production is during the middle of the day, between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m., when the sun's rays are at their strongest. However, if you live in an area with long winters or frequent cloud cover, it is possible that you may not get enough sun exposure throughout the year. In these cases, the utilization of a vitamin D lamp may help simulate the effects of natural sunlight and increase your body's production of vitamin D. 2. Incorporate dietary sources rich in vitamin D. When sufficient sunlight is not available, it becomes vital to rely on dietary sources and supplements. Make sure your diet contains foods that are rich in vitamin D. Consuming foods abundant in vitamin D can help enhance your vitamin D levels and support your overall health. Nutritional sources of vitamin D include fatty fish such as salmon, mackerel, sardines, and tuna, all of which are excellent. A meal of salmon approximately 3.5 ounces in size can provide around 570 international units, IU, of vitamin D, fulfilling a significant portion of your daily requirements. Egg yolks are another great source, with a single yolk containing about 40 IU of vitamin D. Consuming dairy products like milk, yogurt, and cheese, which are often fortified with vitamin D, is another easy way to boost your intake. Furthermore, mushrooms are the only plant-based food that naturally produces vitamin D when exposed to sunlight, making them an excellent choice for vegetarians seeking alternative sources. 3. Use vitamin D supplements when needed. A sizable number of senior individuals may require vitamin D supplements to meet their daily needs. It can sometimes be challenging to obtain adequate amounts of vitamin D through food alone, especially as the body's natural production declines with age. Taking vitamin D tablets is often the most reliable method for seniors to maintain sufficient vitamin D levels, particularly when sunlight exposure and dietary intake are inadequate. The recommended daily intake depends on age. Adults between the ages of 50 and 70 should aim for 600 IU daily. Adults over the age of 70 should aim for 800 to 900 IU daily. Vitamin D3, cholecalciferol, is preferred over D2 because it is more easily absorbed and more effective. Because vitamin D is fat-soluble, it is best taken with a meal containing healthy fats to maximize absorption. Before beginning any new supplements, it is essential to consult a healthcare professional to determine the best dosage for your individual needs. 4. Take magnesium in conjunction with vitamin D. If you are a dietitian or health-conscious individual, you may already know that magnesium is essential for the body to activate vitamin D regardless of how much vitamin D you ingest, how much sunlight you get, or how many supplements you take. Your body will not be able to absorb or utilize vitamin D effectively without sufficient magnesium. To stimulate the activation of vitamin D in your body, it is important to incorporate magnesium-rich foods into your diet. Leafy greens like spinach and kale, nuts and seeds like almonds and pumpkin seeds, and whole grains like brown rice and oats are excellent sources of magnesium. For those who have difficulty acquiring sufficient magnesium from food alone, taking a magnesium supplement may also be beneficial. Combining magnesium with vitamin D can maximize the benefits, leading to improvements in bone health, muscular strength, and overall mobility.
If you start with low levels of vitamin D, it may take some time before you see visible results. Restoring optimal vitamin D levels and achieving noticeable health changes is a gradual process. After 2 weeks, you may notice a decrease in muscle cramps and an increase in your energy levels. After 1 month, you might experience stronger legs, better balance, and increased stability. After 3 months, according to studies, taking vitamin D for 3 to 6 months can result in a 31% decrease in falls, a 35% increase in muscular strength, and a 40% reduction in the risk of fractures. These benefits are particularly significant for senior citizens. Consistency in your approach is absolutely necessary. Consuming vitamin D on a daily basis will help preserve leg strength and mobility for many years to come.
The significance of vitamin D cannot be stressed enough when it comes to the maintenance of mobility, the prevention of falls, and the preservation of independence. A sizable percentage of older individuals are not receiving adequate vitamin D care, making it imperative that proactive measures be taken. Starting today, here's what you can do. Get your vitamin D levels evaluated on a consistent schedule through blood tests. Spend 20 to 30 minutes in the sun several times a week, especially during midday, to boost natural vitamin D production. Consume foods high in vitamin D, such as fatty fish, salmon, mackerel, sardines, egg yolks, fortified dairy products, and sunlight-exposed mushrooms. Supplement with vitamin D3 if needed, aiming for 800 to 2000 IU per day, especially for adults over the age of 70. Combine vitamin D intake with magnesium to maximize absorption and support bone and muscle strength. Are you getting an adequate amount of vitamin D in your daily routine? Tell us what you think by leaving a comment below. When looking for additional health information, remember to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Just imagine being able to keep your strength and mobility well into your 90s. Does that sound far-fetched? It is not. Every year, 1 in 4 persons over the age of 65 experiences a fall, often resulting in severe injury and loss of independence. But this risk can be mitigated simply with one crucial nutrient, vitamin D. Research shows that vitamin D is not just about bone health, it plays a critical role in maintaining muscle strength, balance, and mobility. Senior citizens who take vitamin D supplements experience a 23% lower risk of falling and improved overall independence. Unfortunately, over 60% of the elderly population suffers from vitamin D deficiency. Over time, this deficiency increases the risk of fractures, weakens muscles, and slows down healing. However, by ensuring adequate sun exposure, eating vitamin D-rich foods, supplementing when needed, and combining with magnesium, you can dramatically boost your strength, stability, and quality of life. Take control today. Maintain your strength, independence, and freedom well into your golden years by making vitamin D a daily priority.